Yeah, I'm Josh from Year 6 and I'm fueling the media.
How is this tour going so far?
It's going great. It's been nice to be back in America and playing shows, and yeah, it's just nice to be back in America. So.
Well, we're glad that your vocals are doing fantastic, and we're glad that you rescheduled. And I don't know if you know this, but it's been a year since you've been in Houston.
Years and a day.
It's years and a day. And the fact that this show is sold out. So.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
I don't know. I've been telling you about this at all.
So it'll be good. We'll have a full crowd up there. It'll be willing to go great. So how would you compare this tour right now to all the other tours that you've done in the US and even in the UK?
This one's different because we're playing songs from Cavalier Youth, which is our new record. So I guess that's the main difference between this tour and other tours we've done recently in America. And this tour was meant to happen in April and May, so it was frustrating it didn't. We almost had to cancel some of the shows last week because I got ill again. That was really frustrating, but we managed to get through it, which is the main thing. After a few hospital visits and a few strange days, but yeah, I don't know, there's something about America and Year 6, it's sort of unfinished business for us because it's the only place in the world that we're not really at the level we want to be at, live capacity. Like, we'd really love to be, playing bigger rooms than we are, but we also appreciate that you have to really put in the work here, and you have to really sort of give people your time, and you also have to be consistently good in a live venue to make people want to come back. So that's been one of the main things for us this time around. But yeah, in general, it's just really nice to be back here because the country's so big that every part of it's sort of different and unique. So it doesn't get too monotonous, and there's always something interesting to do or to try. So.
Well, that's great to hear. Especially because you can go from one day being in cold weather and then coming here in Houston and you're back in 80 degrees.
Yeah, it's weird.
So it's definitely crazy like that. So speaking of the difference between the UK and the US, you guys have won for the Best British Band, and you guys not necessarily have won any awards here in the US. Has that influenced the new record that you guys are potentially working on? Are you guys even working on a new record?
We're not working on a new record right now because our label over here, Prospect Park, we've only really just started working like radio and TV here, and like Room to Breathe is #2 in the rock charts at the moment, and I think the aim for that radio is to get to #1 and have a #1 radio song here. I know that doesn't necessarily translate into ticket sales or whatever, but what it does do is it sets us up to then try and attack alternative and top 40 radio and other sort of spheres of media that we sort of want to go for. But we never really write a record with any particular market in mind to break or whatever. We write records. Especially now we're a bit older, now like 24, 25, we're sort of at the stage where we're writing records predominantly for ourselves, whilst trying to maintain the sounds that make people like us in the first place. We want to try new things, we don't want to make the same record, we want to write the same songs. So, any ideas that me and Max have been playing around with, and some of the other guys have been playing around with as well, it doesn't really sound like Year 6 right now, so we need to sort of figure out how we can make it sound more like our band and not this weird shit it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think that Cavalier Youth is, you guys really getting back to the foundation of Year 6. Because typically bands go through a funk through their third album. Their fans typically go one route or the other, and they typically like it or they don't like it. And I feel like Cavalier Youth brought it back together. Do you feel like that Cavalier Youth is, I guess you could say, the album that's gonna eventually put you out there? Do you feel like?
I don't know, maybe here. I just think that we've got finally, this is the first time we've ever put our record in America and we're actually working it. Like every other day or every day we're on the phone or I'm on email with our A&R guy and the head of our label, and they're stoked. Like the other bands, they do like Five Finger Death Punch, and you know, the guy who's our A&R guy broke Lady Gaga, and the guy who's the head of our label like broke with massive artists like NSYNC and stuff like that, and they really want to break like our band, and it's the first time we've ever had that. So it's sad because what we're doing now is we're doing a lot of groundwork that maybe we should have been doing on Hold Me Down and Since Never Sleep, and maybe then that would mean that Cavalier Youth would be something that's not right now. But again, it's not a rat race for us, it's always been about longevity, and I think things happen for a reason, and maybe it didn't work on other records with our label or radio or whatever's meant to happen, because it just wasn't meant to happen, and maybe it won't even be Cavalier Youth, maybe another record. But I think right now we're just enjoying going back to basics, and like there's no difference for us playing the Reading main stage in front of 80,000 people or playing the Warehouse in Houston. Like it means the same amount, it's the same challenge, we have to put on the same show, and it's the same goal, it's the same thing of trying to make however many people are there enjoy that hour and 15 minutes as much as they can, because same with us, everybody has their own shit that they got to deal with in life. When you go to a gig, that should be your escape. So that for us, that's our goal as entertainers, to give people that escape. So whether or not Cavalier Youth sells millions of copies, number one on the Billboard is sort of irrelevant. It's not really what it's about. Obviously that'd be lovely, but it's not the be all and end all of what your music is meant to do. So.
It's very great to hear that, you know, because the bands that we have interviewed, they're just there specifically for the wrong reasons. And it's good to hear that someone's there actually for the music, especially it's music that we love, and you guys don't even care how successful you guys are, as long as your fans care about it. So it's really great to hear. You know, do you guys ever get tired and want to take a break and take, you know, a year off to try to recruit things to
I think that's what we're going through at the moment, is that some of us just bought houses. We're all in long-term relationships with girls that I think we all want to end up being with permanently, and it's difficult because we've now been doing this almost 10 years, and Chris was having a bit of a thing yesterday where he was just like, I just want to be at home. Like I love music, I love writing music, but I can't keep going away for 8 months a year and not being at home, missing my mum and my brother and my girlfriend and my friend, and paying for a house and living and all this sort of stuff. And I think that's one way to look at it. And taking time off would be great, because it would mean that we can explore different things, whether it be travelling or trying new things, and not necessarily letting life pass you by and all of us, but at the same time there's not really too much else that we know how to do. Being in a band is one of them, and there's lots of people who would rather be in our position than not, so I'd rather ride it out for as long as possible.
So what does the rest of 2014 hold for you, Nancy?
Not a lot, to be honest. This is it really. We're finishing off this tour, and then we're going home. We're having to actually have some time off over November and December off. I guess we'll start looking at people we want to write the new record with, and there's a lot of stuff we need to do, like logistically at home, and then we'll go from there, and then it all kicks off again in January and February. So.
Well, that's good. At least you guys have a little break in between. Be good. So, how was the Reading Leeds Festival?
It was good. It's good. It was. You know, when the only people above you are Macklemore and too, it's kind of intimidating because, well, for obvious reasons. And even the bands below us, like a Data Member and Stephen Sirens and all these big bands, and it was sort of like playing third from the top was a big deal. Our dream has always been to play Reading on the main stage at night time, so we had Sunset, so the next time we play it, we want to be playing the second or the first slot. So, but it was massive and it was scary. It was scary in all the good ways, and yeah, I think it's it's difficult to describe Reading Leeds because I don't think there's a festival like it anywhere else in the world. And like Europe has an amazing festival scene, but and you can spend we spent all summer doing festivals, but it all felt like it was all just a build up for Reading and Leeds. So yeah, good times.
Was there any moments that stood out, like, oh, that band, you know, they necessarily were one of the first bands that played, but I want to collaborate with them, I like their music, I like their influence, and was there any kind of moments like that happened at the festival?
Well, I'm really excited about what the Night 75 do next, because good friends with a few of those guys, and I really love their self-titled record, and I feel that they are in an interesting position right now where they are one of the few bands that can take the jump that they're in right now from playing these massive rooms. Even in America they're doing really well. They're one of the few bands that could go from that to being arenas and amphitheatres, and it really just depends on the next record. They excite me quite a lot as a band that I'd like to do something with, or just even as a fan I'm excited to see what they do. And to be honest, there's a band called the Catfish and the Bottommen, who are a great band. Really excited about them. I think Van's a really, really great songwriter, and I really hope that they do good things, because I think he's such a talented young guy, and I think they'll do good stuff. And to be honest, everything else is a little bit plain Jane for me. There's nothing else that really excites me. I'm listening to a lot of hip hop. Actually no, I got shown this band called Citizen the other day, which reminded me of Brand New from Your Favourite Weapon. It's strange that like hardcore kids go to their shows because they're clearly not a hardcore band. It's really strange. And I almost feel like their music is like almost 10-15 years late, but maybe it's the perfect time because it could help introduce some of these younger kids that are coming up now who, you know, maybe needing that gateway between a band like them and a band like Taking Back Sunday or something like that, which meet world, so it could be perfect. But there's not too much out there that really excites me. It's all pretty shit, to be honest. And there's nothing.
Catfish,
yeah, it's except for Catfish, 1975, Citizen are really decent. And I'm listening to a lot of electro stuff, which again is nothing really that people are really going to understand, because it's like Swedish electro music and Ed Sheeran, stuff like that, you know, like
from different spectrums.
Yeah, so yeah, nothing really from the AP world is really exciting me right now, to be honest. So
I guess it's a blessing and a curse, you know. You guys have grown up into your ways and you know exactly what you like. It's not like you're kind of questioning things anymore. So I want to end this thing on a good note. We're going to ask you some little funny questions just to like pick the mood back up. If you could have your like perfect pizza delivered here, how would you want it?
Give my girlfriend on a veggie pizza. That'd be the perfect
I think
pizza.
we can do that. We can get her a flight.
I'd love nothing more than that, yeah.
That'd be great. So, and then would you rather have spaghetti as hair or meatballs as fingers? Considering the fact that they will grow back if you eat them.
Spaghetti as hair, because I could just dye it. So I could essentially have this haircut still, but it's made out of spaghetti.
Dip it in marinara sauce and we're good to go.
Something like that, yeah.
Do you guys have any Halloween plans?
No, it's not really a big thing in England. I know it's really big in America, but honestly in England it's just an excuse for girls to dress kind of slutty for one night and guys to be stoked in it, and that's kind of all it is. We don't, trick-or-treating in England is not really a thing. I mean, it kind of happens for the young kids, but it is honestly just an excuse for people to have a party, and maybe that's similar to here, but I love being in America for Halloween because it's very intoxicating, it's overwhelming how really into people get, and you know, we've been there a few times. One time we dressed up as the YMCA, another time we dressed up as Steel Panther and like latex pants and stuff. So unfortunately we have a day off on Halloween and actually playing a show, so we don't get the opportunity to dress up funny, but
you can still dress up, go to a bar, get some free drinks,
get to that, yeah.
So on a final note, what can we expect from your set tonight?
set. Everybody's very hungover, minus me. I didn't really drink last night. I'm drinking coffee, iced coffee right now. So I'm pretty wired. Our set hopefully will be good songs, in tune vocals, and a good time, hopefully. And final words would be